Hi guys, it's Phoebe. Welcome back to my channel. Listen to my story of woe. I already filmed this video, but none of it recorded. And in that original video, my ring light went out about halfway through. Now that I have to refilm it and the ring light is out, I just have to film the whole thing in the dark instead of half of it in the dark. So I apologize for what a disaster this is about to be. It was also pretty disastrous the first time around because I didn't close my cat out of the room, and I'm gonna blame my cat for yanking on the ring light cord that it's completely broken now. Let's jump right into it. In this video, I want to talk about the books that I read in the second half of January, as well as the books that I want to pick up in February. To start discussing the books in January, one book I'm currently reading is Written in My Own Heart's Blood by Diana Gabaldon. I'm only like 80 pages into it. It's like 1,000 pages long. I'm probably not gonna, I might finish it in February if I'm lucky. It might even be March because I love Outlander. I love like the first 3 Outlander books probably. And then after that, it's just like I don't like them. I'm really just slogging through this one because it's a tragic case of me buying the whole series before like at once instead of one at a time because I loved Outlander so much. I was like, I need all the books now. And turns out I don't like them. On that note, also in January, I read Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs, which is the 3rd novel in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, whatever series. It was supposed to be a trilogy. It was supposed to end with this book. There's 2 more books out after this one, and there's a new one coming out after that, apparently, which I don't love because it's, again, I have all the books that are out now. I have them already because I really like the first one, and the second one I thought was not that great. I was like, maybe it's just kind of like a filler book in the middle, and the third one will be better. Didn't love this one either. I feel like the things that made the first one good to me, which was that it was like super original and really different. By the third book, like everything just has like gone totally off the rails. Like everything seems out of left field. And then there's all these crazy new like world building elements that like rules and stuff that only pop up when it's convenient for the characters, like as a plot device. Like if they need something done, oh, you've not heard of like this ancient magic, whatever. That magically instantly solves their problem. I will say I liked how this book wrapped up the first 3 books, and I don't know where it's going to go from here, and I don't want it to go anywhere from here, but I've already got the next 2 books, so I have to pick them up. I have to read them. Obviously, those are the rules. There's that. I also read The Fabric of the Cosmos by Brian Greene. I submitted this book on Goodreads. This is the first time I've done this. I submitted a book with no rating or review. So let me ramble a bit about why I didn't know what to put on Goodreads. As far as starred reviews, I felt like any number of stars I gave this book would be unfair because my kind of knee-jerk gut reaction was to give it a low star rating because I didn't love this book. I didn't love this book because it's really physics heavy. I picked up this book because I like space travel, I like that kind of stuff, and that kind of brushes, obviously, the field of physics. So this was, to me, kind of like, I knew it was going to be more like math, science heavy than strictly like talking about space, but I figured I would dip my toes in the water a little bit, see what it's like. I ended up not dipping my toes in the water. It was just jumping straight off the deep end, and I didn't love it. It wasn't my thing. I just don't have enough physics background to understand a lot of this. I will say I appreciate, I feel like Greene did try to make it accessible, used a lot of like metaphors and images and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it didn't outweigh how difficult it was for me to read this book. But again, it's not that it's bad. It's just that it wasn't my thing. So I don't know how to rate and review that other than saying it wasn't my thing, so I didn't love it, but it's also not a bad nonfiction science book. I also read Dope Sick, Dealers, Doctors, and the Drug Company That Addicted America by Beth Macy. This book is about the opioid epidemic in America. More specifically, it focuses on the effects of OxyContin in Virginia in kind of the late 90s, early 2000s, how that changed the landscape there. I did really like this book a lot. I think that if you're someone who's been touched by the opioid epidemic in any way, you will learn a lot reading this book. And you'll find it an interesting subject. I know I say this every freaking video, but like as a nurse who works on a floor with a lot of chronic back pain patients, I found it really interesting to see how widespread the issue is and how sad it is to have a patient who goes to their doctor for help with their back pain, gets prescribed an opioid pain medication such as OxyContin, become hooked on that pain medication, and then either the doctor can no longer prescribe it or they build up such a tolerance that no prescribed dosage really helps their pain, and so they end up having to turn to heroin or other like illegal options because they feel like that's the only way they can manage their pain. So if any of that sounds interesting, familiar, whatever to you, I think you'll really enjoy this book. As far as my February TBR, I got way too ambitious because I think I'm just bad at counting. Because my goal, I was thinking I need to read 7 or 8 books every month to reach 100 books by the end of the year. And I wasn't thinking about all the new releases that are coming out in February that I want to get my hands on. And I already have 2 new releases in my that I've gotten. One that I don't have in the stack next to me is I have the McElroy Brothers book, How to Start a Podcast. And I also, let me get my other new book. My other new book is The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Wagner. That came out in January, so I want to read it as soon as possible. I also have the next book in the Miss Peregrine series, A Map of Days, the 4th novel, which I'm not super looking forward to. I also really hate how thick it is. I feel like I don't know, maybe the last 2 books were the slump books, and this one will be better, but I'm just not looking forward to it. Again, I feel obligated to read it because I already own it. I'm a little bit more excited to keep going with Cassandra Clare's, what the heck are those people even called? I'm sorry, I'm a fake YA fan. But, Shadowhunters, that's what they're called. Thank you. With that universe, with her, the Infernal Devices series with Clockwork Angel. Since this is the series that I'm going through 1 book at a time, I'm sure I'll love it. I also wanted to jump back into, I want to reread the Lord of the Rings books, so I grabbed the Fellowship of the Ring, I also want to jump back into rereading the Lord of the Rings, so I grabbed the Fellowship off the bookshelf. We'll see if I get to that. I also have a nonfiction book, Entering Space, Creating a Spacefaring Civilization by Robert Zubrin, about, obviously, people going out in space. My next 3 books are totally random books that I'm not quite sure. Let me explain. My parents also read a lot, have a lot of books at their house. And one of the time, it's probably been months, and they've just been sitting on my shelf. But one time I went home, and they were like, I was talking about books and stuff, and I was talking about this really good used bookstore that I like to go to sell my books. And they were like, we have a bunch of books. You can either sell them and you can have the money for them, or you can keep them if you want to read them, whatever. We just need them out of the house. It sounds like a fantastic deal. So there were a lot of them that I took home, and I had a bunch of books that I needed to sell, so I just sold them. And with me, I have 3 books from that thing for my parents, and I don't know why I kept them. One is Krakatoa, about the volcanic eruption at Krakatoa in 1883. which is random, but I can kind of understand like my thought, like brain process on reading that. Like, oh, it's just something different. Like I'll learn something. It'll be good for me to read nonfiction. I mean, this is not something I would have picked up and like paid money for, but fine. Then I also have a Ken Follett novel, A Place Called Freedom, which I can't even remember what this is supposed to be about. I have read a few Ken Follett books. Actually, a few months ago, I read, Code to Zero that I liked by him. So I understand me being like, oh, Ken Follett is like a decent author. I'll pick this book up. But again, this is not a book that I would have paid money for. I don't even know what it's about at all. And the last one is the most confusing to me. I feel like I meant to sell it, honestly, and like stuck it in the wrong pile. But now I'm like not going to sell books anytime soon, so I'm like, I guess I'll read it. It's a collection of short stories, I believe, by Elmore Leonard, When the Women Came Out to Dance. I don't have an explanation for myself on this one. Again, it's gotta just be I put it in the wrong pile. There's nothing about this that looks or sounds appealing to me. So we'll see what that's like. Thanks again, you guys, so much for watching. So sorry about the lighting. I guess I have to order a new ring light now, which just makes me so thrilled. What's going to be funny is the video that will be coming out next, I've already filmed with the ring light on. So, as long as I can get another one in the next couple of weeks, you'll never know the difference except for this one tragic video. I'm so sorry. But thank you guys for watching. Bye!